Morning. Welcome to Regionals Wrestling for the Star Valley Braves here in Jackson today. Not going to be a huge tournament today. We've only got 31 girls here, but they're kind of doing a round robin event for the event today. And we'll be broadcasting all the girls' matches today. And then next week we'll be over in Casper starting Thursday. All right, we got Kylie Erickson coming up. They might be wrestling different girls in different weight classes just to make a bracket today for the Lady Braves. So thanks for tuning in today. Today's broadcast is brought to you by SVI and Jack's Drive-In in Etna. Okay, got the handshake. This girl from Jackson, she's a pretty stellar wrestler. It's T. McBride versus Kylie Erickson. Kylie Erickson gets a double duck under. She's a lot taller than this girl from Jackson. McBride looking up. Kylie's got a hard duck under on the right with an overhook on the head. Doesn't finish it. She's still got an underhook on the left-hand side. Goes ahead and resets. Jackson girl shoots in for a double leg. Kylie's trying to sprawl. Shoves the head, trying to get better position so she's not getting sucked in. McBride is sucking her in. Tries for a slip. She does get it down. 2 points for Jackson. Kylie's trying to build a base. Jackson girl slips the hips in. Kylie does expose her back, but it's no points counting. She's doing a good job controlling, not trying to expose her back. Girl from Jackson does put, she's got a tight body. Oh, Kylie gets 2 points counted on her on the back, gets back over to her belly. Jackson girl trying to pull out an arm bar there. Kylie doing a good job trying to face it. McBride has a arm bar on the right-hand side, trying for a near side half. Kylie's doing a good job sitting out. Now she's putting a double chicken wing on her. That's a rough match. Kylie gets pulled over on her back. That's probably going to end in a yep, it's going to end in possibly a pin. Yep. So with 14 seconds left in the first period, McBride put a double chicken wing on Kylie Erickson and rolls her over and gets a pin. Next, coming up, we have, they might be having some confusion on who's coming up. Should be Victoria Fry and Kay Ledford from Laramie. Today we have 5 teams joining in the action today on the ladies wrestling side. But yes, we do have coming up, we have Tori Fry wrestling Ledford from Laramie. We have Laramie, Rock Springs, Lady Braves from Star Valley, Jackson, and Kelly Walsh here today. Okay, starting the first period. Setting up for a single leg. Laramie shoots under, tries to duck under. Tori goes ahead and puts a underhook, and now she's just sprawling, trying to belly out, trying to get behind for 2 points. Gets behind. The ref does award 2, and then an escape point for Laramie. So the score is 2-1. 30 seconds gone. 1:30 left in the first. Tori's trying to set up a takedown. Laramie girl goes ahead and reaches in for a double leg. Tori's sprawling again, trying to get her hips back. She got an underhook on the left-hand side. Overhook on the right-hand side. Stuff in the head, getting a good sprawl. Laramie girl keeps driving, gets Tori on her hip, and does end up getting the takedown for 2. Laramie Ledford is trying to work under to grab control wrist and slide in a leg. Tori's trying to push. She puts in a leg, and she's trying to do just a short tilt, kind of with a chokehold there. It's not called a chokehold, but it's just a tilt. Tori's got to be able to get her legs back and start moving her hips from underneath there. Tori's got her wrist on top, trying to pull over the body so that she can build her base. The Laramie girl let go of the legs, so Tori could build her base on the back hide. She's doing a good job keeping the wrist over the body. 15 seconds left in the first period. She's starting to build the base with the control of the wrist. She's trying to go out the back door, but she's got her left leg blocked. 3 seconds left. First period ends. Score is 2-4. Tori's down by 2. Laramie gets the choice. She defers to Tori, and Tori goes ahead and chooses bottom. So starting the second period, the score is 2-4. Tori down by 2. And she's got the choice to choose bottom. Laramie breaks her down, goes right back to that same position where she's got an ankle, and then she goes to trap that left leg. Trying to roll into a half. Tori's doing a good job blocking the arms on the bottom. Trying to grab that wrist so she doesn't get put into a half. Builds her base. She's trying to stand up with it. Laramie jumps to the other side, puts a tight waist on, goes to the ankle, tries to break her down that way. Tori's pretty strong on the bottom. She's very flexible. Goes out of bounds. Going to still be down. Minute 26 left in the second period. Tori's still down by 2. Does a quick sit, doesn't quite get it, goes down to her belly. Laramie's got a tight waist. She goes in for a half. Tori's trying to pill it off. Hasn't exposed her back quite yet. Tori's got a lot of control on her hips and her back, and she fights it off, goes back belly down. Minute and 5 left. Still no change in the score, 2-4. Goes for a tight waist to a far ankle pick to try to break Tori down. Tori's been on the bottom now for 1 minute and 10 seconds. No points given yet. Laramie tries to stick in that leg again, trying to pull that ankle up to block Tori from sitting out. Tori's got to get her head off the mat or she's going to be, and there it is. It's not quite a half. She doesn't have it under the hand, but she's trying to roll it, but Tori just bellies back down and faces away from the girl. Laramie puts a half on, trying to roll her. Tori's blocking with her right leg, trying not to expose her back. 15 seconds left in the second period. Still perpendicular. And there the ref starts counting. Flips her over. 4 seconds left, 3 seconds left. Okay, no pin at this time. She does get 3 back points. So going into the third period, Laramie gets the choice. She's going to choose top again and put Tori right back on. The score should be 7-2. Tori down by 5. She's on bottom again going into the third. Has a quick sit again. Girl does a tight waist with both arms, doesn't touch her hands, goes right back down. Tori pops her head up. She just needs to keep her head off that mat so she doesn't get put in that half again. She's down by 5. Tori needs to move. Laramie tries to bump that leg and working on the right-hand side, trying to get a breakdown to break her down. Laramie goes to the left wrist, trying to pry Tori over the wrist, goes for a half on the right-hand side. Tori blocks with her left leg and her left arm, trying to pill it off. Can't quite. She does pill it off. Laramie switches to the left as Tori's body's turned that way, and this is the same position she was in last period. She does flip her. 1:13 left. Ref's counting. Tori's trying to find room, and she gets a pin. Laramie pins Tori with 1 minute and 4 left in the third period. So far, we had Kylie Erickson wrestle, and she lost by a fall to her opponent, and then Tori Fry just lost to a girl from Laramie, Ledford. Coming up, we have Caitlin Schwab. Just a reminder, most of these girls, this is their first year wrestling this year, as Wyoming has adopted girls wrestling this year. And so many of these are freshmen and sophomores just learning the program. Star Valley has one of the biggest teams in the state, still trying to gain that experience throughout the year, as this is their last tournament before we go to state next week on Thursday and Friday down in Casper. So Caitlin Schwab coming up against a girl from Natrona County. Goes ahead and takes Caitlin down, throws her to the mat. Caitlin bellies down. I know that this girl that Caitlin's wrestling from Natrona is undefeated, and Caitlin was a little worried about that earlier, and we just told her to go out there and try her best. Natrona County goes ahead and puts a half on, rolls Caitlin over, getting back points. 30 seconds gone in the first period. Earlier, Natrona just sucked her back on the mat as she was trying to flee the mat. And get a fall with 1:22, so 35 seconds left gone in the first period. And Caitlin Schwab has a fall against a girl from Natrona County. So coming up, we have two Star Valley wrestlers wrestling against each other. Like I said, this is going to be kind of a round robin. So many of our girls, they had to combine a few weight classes. The boys are here as well for their regional. The girls are having what we call a mock regional. And so a lot of our girls are going to wrestle each other today. But we have Hallie Robertson and Addie Misner from Star Valley. Hallie's wrestled for a couple years last year with the boys, and now joining with the girls team, having a sanctioned event this year. She's one of the experienced wrestlers on our team, but a lot of the girls have come a long way. Hallie shoots in for a single leg on the left-hand side, gets her takedown for 2 points. She's working under, trying to fight those wrists. Hallie tries to put a half on, working the near side bar. These girls wrestle at practice a lot, and it's always hard when you have to wrestle your own teammate when you've wrestled them all week in practice and all season, and it's never a good feeling until you get to state and you're trying to fight for that title. But anyway, Addie doing a good job trying to pull that off, but Hallie goes ahead and puts a near side armbar with a far side half on and goes ahead and turns her over on her back, getting the count, and gets a pin. 1 minute and 10 seconds into the first period, Hallie gets a pin over Misner. How do you say her last name, Addie? Is it Meisner or Misner? Do you know? Meisner. If I butcher any last names, I apologize for that. But been following these girls all year. And next up, we have Keston Johnson against another Kelly Walsh girl. Keston's had a pretty good year. Hopefully she comes out ready and willing to roll today. So this is Keston Johnson wrestling Jay Hallbrook from Kelly Walsh. Whistle blows. She goes in, ties up, gets a head and arm, goes ahead and leaves it. Doesn't quite like it, doesn't like the feel of it. Keston's got a really good double single leg, either one that she likes. There she goes, an arm drag, gets behind her. Just needs to take her to the mat. She's trying to trip forward. She does. She gets the takedown for 2. Now she's working a near side butcher or a barbed wire. She gets it locked up. She rolls it over. Good job, Keston. Needs to keep her head up as she's a girl rolls through. She gets a 2 or 3 count, so she is going to chalk up 2 back points. She jumps to the other side. Goes ahead and tries a cross face, going back to that. Looks like she's going to try to run a cradle, far side cradle. Run in the head to there. She locks it up. She goes to sit through, trying to get it. She sits through, going to get a count. She needs to get out to the side and put a knee in the side. Doing a good job looking at the ref, seeing where he's counting. And there it is. 58 seconds into the first period. Good job, Keston Johnson with a pin over Hallbrook from Kelly Walsh. Next up, we have Paisley Smith against A. Brower from Natrona County. Paisley's been pretty steady this year. She's had several successes, a couple trials this year, but see which one steps out on the mat today. Don't know if they've met up as of lately. I wasn't able to broadcast the Ronthon event, and I don't know if Natrona was there, but Paisley coming out on the mat right now, wrestling Abe Bauer from Natrona County. This is a 115 weight class. Whistle blows, start of the first. Paisley likes to control the arms. Kelly Walsh goes ahead and tries to throw a holding arm. Paisley does a good job sagging, and no points awarded yet. And now the ref will award 2. Paisley did a really good job sagging her hips so she didn't get thrown in that. Puts a near side arm bar on. Kelly Walsh Natrona County girls trying to stand up. Paisley's going to take her right back to the mat. Still has the arm bar on. Trying to run around. Got the far wrist. Ref is going to call potentially dangerous because the arm slipped up too high on the left-hand side with an underhook. Paisley got a little clarification from the ref there. Going to 30 seconds past in the first. 2-0 Paisley up. Does a good job breaking her down right to that armbar again. She's got to make sure that it doesn't slide up. She's putting a lot of pressure on it. She's got the far side wrist. She's walking around the head. She can keep walking around the head. Gets it blocked. She stretches her forward. Gets her flat on her belly. Got a good job with that the armbar. She loses the arm. Goes back to a breakdown. Slides that leg. Getting sucked under. And gets a reversal put on her by Natrona County. That was mostly her mistake where she slipped over on the arm and just got sucked under on the body. So, 1 minute left in the first period. We're scored at 2-2. Paisley Smith down. Not down, it's tied, but she's on bottom. She tripods up, goes for a stand-up. Girl puts her in a standing cradle from Natrona County, rolls her over, but Paisley does a good job flipping. We're kind of scrappling to see who's going to come out on top, and Paisley comes out with a 2-point reversal. She did a nice job rolling around. She comes out for that barbed wire, trying to stretch out. She does, pulls her over. She's Natrona County. She's got a reset, getting back points counted. Paisley's doing a good job resetting on the far side. She's got a nice reverse half, just trying to settle in, and she does. She's now getting to the side. She just got to suck it up, get it tight. Already got the 3 count, the 5 count to get 3 points on the back. And she's got 25 seconds, a lot of time. She just needs to lift that head. And she gets a pin. Good job for Paisley Smith doing that reversal with the standing cradle. She was able to roll it through, then throws a reverse half on the girl, settles in, gets a pin. So she gets her first win of the day. Coming up, looks like we have Vel Foreman. She'll be wrestling Malia Allred from both Star Valley again. Vel currently is undefeated. Malia, this is her first time coming out for wrestling as a junior. She's been having pretty good success. She's wrestled some JV, mostly when they have it available. So once again, we have Vel Foreman for Star Valley. She'll be the red, and Malia Allred for Star Valley. She'll be green. They're wrestling at 1:30 today as they combine some weight classes, move things around. Malia, obviously knowing that Vel has a couple years experience on her, but Vel, one of the reasons the coaches came here is just get a lot of mat time, have some good matches before next week coming to state. Good choice on their part coming to get some extra matches since most of the state isn't having a real girls regionals. Vel goes ahead and gets that takedown, working a barbed wire. Gets over, starts, ref starts count, but no official count. Vel gets a cradle, rolls it over, getting back points. when you wrestle your teammates, there's you don't want to hurt anybody. You just want to get out there, do your best. So Vale Foreman does get a pin against Malia. They give a hug. They wrestle a lot in practice. They understand it's not the best ideal situation where you're wrestling your own team, but they just try not to injure anybody this week as they get ready for next week for state. Just proud of those two girls going out there wrestling hard. It's never easy when you face your own teammates as you step out on the mat. Next week they'll be wrestling live down in Casper on Thursday and Friday for sure, as they enter the state championship for the first time ever in Wyoming for a girls section. Right now we have Samantha Walker for Star Valley and Jay Mayers from Natrona County. Samantha looking, kind of circling, trying to look for a shot. Doing a couple taps on her good toes. Not willing to tie up yet or go anywhere. She does go in for a tie up. Gets an underhook on the left-hand side, overhook. Shoots in for a solid double leg. Isn't quite able to finish it. She does. She gets it and finishes it right to her back. Goes up for a tight waist on the right-hand side. Crossface trying to pull out that left side wrist. Let's see where Sam goes from here. Breaks her back down to the mat. Trying to roll out those wrists. Kind of right parallel over the Natrona County girl. Natrona County girl sits out. Sam jumps to the side. So now she's working the left side wrist, trying to get that breaker down. 1 minute's passed, score 2-0, Sam up. She slips in the left leg, trying to stretch that girl out on the left-hand side. Goes for that wrist. Got it. She's got it pulled under. She just needs to drive it forward. Goes for a tight waist chop on the right-hand side. Got the left wrist. Almost able to put it on her back. I don't quite know what Sammy's trying to pull. She's letting her pull her arm back up front. Goes ahead and tries a crossface from the left-hand side, maybe looking to run a barbed wire. Not really across the face, just kind of underneath the chin. Really close to the outside of the mat. Right on the edge of the mat there, trying to... She jumps out, pries that wrist out, goes to the front, trying to put it on her back. 7 seconds left in the first. Sam still up 2-0. Not able to capitalize on getting that first takedown. First period will end. Sam leading 2-0. Let's see who's the choice. So it goes to Sam for the choice. She defers. Natrona County girl picks both up. Sam had a really nice double leg in the first period. Scores 2-0 start of the second period. She had a really good duck under to a double leg takedown, and then that's pretty much where it just stayed as she was trying to work a pinning combination but wasn't able to get any back points. So starting the second period, 10 seconds gone, 150 left. Sammy goes for that head tie, trying to suck her up to open her up for that double leg shot. Goes for that head tie on her heels. Sam likes to pull him into him and then shoot under him, but sometimes that's dangerous. She's on her toes, and there it goes. Same shot as last time. Goes in for a double leg. Does a good, nice drive. Nothing comes. She singles off. Natrona County girl doing a good job sprawling and stuffing Sam's head down there. Oftentimes she does like to sit there on the bottom. She needs to get her feet back under. She goes ahead and no points awarded yet. And she gets a takedown, and then she snaps Sam right to her back for back points. Sam was in really good position. Just let up just high. If she's not careful, she's going to get pinned. Girl's got a really good... there is only a half an inch separating her shoulder from the mat. That is not a good position for Sam to be in at this time. 45 seconds left in the second. Sam, there she does. She gets a nice... She had no control on the right-hand side. Sam was able to over and face her. No points were awarded to Sam yet. There she goes. She throws. She got a cow catcher. Throws her right to her back. She's going to get a 2 for reversal. Counting 5. So the score right now will be 4-5, but he hasn't awarded the 3. And Sam pulls off a pin. I'll tell you what, as a fan, it's very stressful when she wrestles like that and puts herself in a really dangerous position. It's not fun to watch and kind of nerve-wracking. But she was able to get a really nice twist on that girl, put her in a cow catcher, throw her right to her back, and pin her. So Sam Walker pulls off the W. So we're going to take just a one-match break. I'm not going to stop the feed. Just want to thank Jack's Drive-In in Etna for sponsoring today's wrestling of the Star Valley Girls Wrestling since mid-season, and SVI for broadcasting today. I'm Isaac Mage, your announcer this day, and we'll be announcing next week at Casper. We'll have audio going. We aren't allowed to do live stream down at a state event, but we can do audio. And so we'll be broadcasting all of the lady wrestling next week at Casper, as well as all day today down in Casper on next Thursday and Friday as we learn more. So please turn in, watch Track Wrestling to see who's up, and you can log on to NFHS. But we'll be broadcasting audio live next week down at the Casper event, as this will be Wyoming first year hosting a all-girls wrestling. Star Valley has a lot of girls out this year. It could be a really good event for us. Hopefully they step up. So right now we're going to just take a few minutes breaks as this match goes. We're not going to have any audio go on. And then upcoming next, just in a few minutes, we have Cashley Hepworth against M. Smith from Rock Springs. Okay, as mentioned right now, we have Cashley Hepworth. They had to combine two weight classes today to make a match, so they combined the 190 weight class with our heavyweight class. So this girl from Rock Springs is actually 190. Cashley's one of our heavyweights. They've wrestled before when we wrestled Rock Springs in Star Valley. Rock Springs does a duck under, quick takedown, trying to work a barbed wire over on Cashley. Cashley does a nice job building her base, standing up and gets an escape point. Good job, Cashley. Cashley goes for a head and arm, but doesn't have the arm. She needs to pull her arm down so she doesn't get that single leg. Does another duck under, gets behind Cashley. Cashley's trying to break her hands. Goes right back to the mat. Rock Springs girls puts a half on. Cashley trying to fight it off. Does a good job pulling her arm back, but still exposes her back. Trying to roll through. She catches the far arm. Cashley just needs to keep rolling. Ref calls a pin, but Cashley's shoulder wasn't even on the ground. Interesting call. If you were watching that, you saw that there was a good fist underneath her shoulder on the camera. I'll have to talk to the ref later and have him watch the broadcast. Okay, coming up we have Merritt wrestling for Star Valley against Kelly Walsh girl. She's wrestling at 100 pounds today. She's been at 105. Like I said, they had to combine a few weight classes today to make this round robin work since there's only 5 teams and not a lot of girls. There's only 30 girls here total, so they're combining weight classes just for girls to get 2 or 3 matches. So right now we have Kendall Merritt wrestling a girl from Kelly Walsh, Nathan, looking for hand control. She's got a far right hand tie on the head. Other girl's got a double tie on the left-hand side. Merritt working for a quick, reaching for the right leg there on the left-hand side. Looking to snap down, circle. Doing a good job blocking. Working for that reach again for that single outside single leg. Oh, that's a good time to go when she's adjusting her headgear. She's got an inside tie on the left-hand side, working for that left ankle pick. Isn't quite able to grab the ankle pick. Does a good job. Merritt gets an underhook on the left-hand side. Going to expose. She doesn't really like that, so she's going to let the girl get out. She shoots in for a double leg, able to pop her. She puts on she just needs to stretch her forward. She's got a really nice there it goes. Stretches her forward. She's got a nice reverse half on and was able to expose the girl, take her to the mat, and then she's just laying on her with the far side, trying to expose her back. She needs to put her head up and sink that half in. She's doing a good job controlling perpendicular to the Kelly Walsh girl. So Merritt gets a takedown. Already got the 5 count on the back, so if it doesn't turn into a pin, she'll get 3 more points, but she's doing a really nice job. 26 seconds left in the first period. She goes ahead and starts sucking it up tighter, and the ref does get the pin. So Merritt, with her first win of the day, comes out, gets a pin, and 20 seconds left in the match. So 1:40 into this one. So now we have Brooke Schwab coming up. They're going to be wrestling 155 today against another girl from Natrona County, from Casper. Like to thank Jack's Drive-In and Eatery up in Etna for sponsoring today's broadcast of the Lady Braves Wrestling. Thank you for tuning in and watching. This is considered their regional this year, even though there's not an official regional, so it's more of a round robin, just to get some more experience before state. So Brooke, starting this round, gets an underhook on the left, doing a good job snapping, goes over the head, trying to suck that head down. She goes for a head and arm, throws it, doesn't quite have the arm, exposes her back. Natrona County goes ahead and working to try to get on top, and she gets the 2-point takedown. Brooke had a nice job there, but didn't suck it up tight. Lost that. Now she's trying to build her base. She needs to stand up real quick. Natrona County got a tight waist on the left-hand side, going for a crossface on the right with an underhook. Brooke's doing a nice job blocking the arms. Goes ahead and tripods up. Tries for a quick sit, but wasn't able to get her legs out from underneath her. Goes back as long as she doesn't put her head down. She tries to do a roll. She gets around it. She does. She was able to do a roll and get out from under her, and she gets a 2-point reversal. Working on the left-hand wrist, trying to pull it out. Brooke's a freshman this year. She's had a couple of wins, trying to work a pinning combination. Doesn't quite know what to do. She ends up crossing her hands and locking her hands. That's going to award a technical violation to the girl in Natrona County. She's got to be careful. Looked to me like they overlapped, but the back was faced to me, so I couldn't see it. So she gets a technical violation. Score is 2-3. Brooke on top right now. She's down by 1. She goes for a crossface. She goes for an ankle. The girl, Kelly Walsh, does a quick reversal and a twist and gets a reversal on Brooke. Brooke is now down 5-2. 30 seconds remaining in the first. The Natrona County girl is just kind of hanging on Brooke. If she could do a nice hard sit out and not expose her back and not. Goes for a hard crossface with tight waist, just kind of standing up. She just needs to stand up and face her right now. She's almost out. She just needs to stand up and face her. Oh, she's able to clop that right leg. She needs to get 1 or 2 points here before the end of the period. She does stand up. She faces her with 4 seconds left, gets a point. So the score is 3-5. She's down by 2 going into the second period. This is a pretty good matchup for Brooke. She just needs to have that control and be tough and not let those. Natrona County gets the call. She defers, and Brooke chooses both up for a shot. Almost had a takedown in the first, but just didn't tighten it up. Other girls suck and win pretty heavy. Brooke does a snap, trying to expose that arm. Schwab's down by 2 going into the second period. Does a nice duck under to a single leg, but it goes straight up, and the girl throws her down to her back and gets the 2 points. Beautiful shot. She just didn't drive in. Now she's down by 4. Stands up, trying to face that opponent. This is how she got her point. She needs to pop her hips, pop her hips, pop her hips. Face her with a switch, but she doesn't. And Natrona County goes ahead and now is going to get a technical violation for locking her hands. Score is 4-7 with 1:25 in the second. Does a quick sit. Doesn't quite finish it. Girl grabs the far side arm. Has her head down. Brooks going to head up, and she's going to hit a stand-up. Natrona County slides in a half, but loses it. Not a lot of control on top, but she's got a near side half. Brooke just needs to sit out and face her. Doing a nice job posting with that left arm, trying to hit a sit. Natrona County snaps her back, getting some back points counted on her. Brooke needs to belly down. She's going to tighten it up. She's got a really tight half now and locked up in a butcher and ends up with a fall. So I don't know if that came unplugged. Sorry, just had a little technical error with the timing. But Brooke Falls had a pretty good match. She just kind of got caught right there at the end and sucked her down and put her in tight head. So coming up, as soon as they get the clock back on, we have Lindsay Lawson coming up against a girl from Jackson, T. McBride. T. McBride has won several of the last tournaments. She's a really stellar wrestler from Jackson, but Lindsay is really tough. She's able to surprise a lot of people. So hopefully this will be a good, tough match for her, and that it'll prepare her for next week. So this is going to be at a 120 weight class. We're just waiting on the head table to get the computer ready. Once again, we are in Jackson today for a mock regionals for the Lady Braves wrestling team. The boys are here as well doing their official regionals, trying to get their placing rounds set for state next week. The way they're going to place the girls, as far as I understand it, is they're just going to take their win-loss records and throw them into a bracket for state, as this is the first year that it's officially sanctioned in Wyoming. And so they could be matched up with our own team. Hopefully they're going to avoid that down there, but that could possibly be how it ends up. So just waiting for the head table to load the system again as it got unplugged. And we'll have Lindsay Lawson wrestling against McBride from Jackson. All right. Lindsay Lawson going against McBride from Jackson. Taps the head. Trying to keep that separation. Jackson trying to go for an underhook. Lindsay doing a good job blocking with her elbow. Goes for a near side ankle pick. Goes and tries to throw a head and arm. Misses it. Gets a takedown on her. Jackson throws in a leg. Goes for a tilt. No points given. She needs to be tight there. Got a double. Sitting on top. Like I said, this Jackson girl is really short, but she's got a good, strong, solid base that she works with. Lindsay doing a good job building her base. She's going to go for a far side underhook to a tilt right to her back for a stack. Lindsay's able to fight it off. Going back to her side, out of bounds. Good job, Lindsay, fighting off that stack. That's pretty hard to fight off, and she was able to get back to her side and fight it off so that it didn't end up with a pin. Lindsay's going to be down. The score is... Don't know if he awarded any back points. Went out of bounds, so the score is 2-0 with 1:08 left in the first period. Lindsay's on bottom. Goes for a quick sit. Wasn't able to clear her left arm. She pulls it back. Nothing hurt yet. She's still in good referee position. Goes to stand up, hits a hard switch. Jackson pushes in. Slides in that left leg. Lindsay fights it off, not able to flip that leg, and turns in, pulls in her leg. She's doing a good job. She just needs to belly down and drive into her. Lindsay did a nice job facing her opponent and grabbing that single leg. But like I said, she's very short and stocky, and so she's hard to control on top. Jackson throws in the legs, puts in a near side half, trying to stretch her out and roll her over on that right-hand side. Gotten the points counting, trying to stack her up with that half. Has scissor of the body. Lets go of the scissor, and Lindsay bellies back down. She puts in an arm bar on the right-hand side, Jackson does. Trying to snap Lindsay back down. Grabs her chin and pulls her. 7 seconds left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So Lindsay able to hold off McBride with a pin in that first round. Saw a couple really good things from Lindsay. She was able to face her, getting that single. She just needed to drive in, and it could have been a different situation. So Lindsay with the choice. She chooses top, wanting to see something different. The other girl's really aggressive on bottom as well. She's been wrestling for several years. We've seen this girl wrestle several times. She's won several tournaments. So going into the second, Lindsay's down by 5. Does a good job breaking her down, but sucks her hand under. Jackson's trying to go out the back door. Lindsay holds up to a butcher, puts a butcher on, almost exposes her back. She's got a good barbed wire set up if she can just control that hip from popping down. Jackson's doing a nice job exposing. Lindsay got that good barbed wire. Has to break those hips down. Trying to roll her around. That's a dangerous place for Lindsay to be because she can't control the hips from there. Goes back, goes for the ankle pick. Still got a far side control on that wrist. She's trying to dump her on that left-hand wrist. Still got that far side right hand cross face to a pretzel. Not a pretzel. Barbed wire. She goes for a half. She's stretching her out. Stretch her forward, Lindsay. Forward. Doing a nice job trying to get that half on the right-hand side. Jackson's pretty much just laying on the bottom, not doing anything. I'd call a stalling call on that one. She's not moving her hips. Lindsay puts a tight left arm. Jackson sits up and is going to get a reversal. Lindsay let up just for a second. No points awarded, and there it is. So she was just waiting for Lindsay to do all the work. As soon as she let up just for a second, throws her on her thing. Gets a reversal with 2 points. And then gets some back points as well. Lindsay's able to face her. Call a stalemate. They're out of bounds. So the Jackson girl actually hasn't wrestled this hard for a long time, hasn't went this long. She's able to pintle. Like I said, Lindsay's can surprise you sometimes. Score is 10-1. 20 seconds left in the first. Lindsay just needs to stay low, block that arms, maybe go into the third period. Jackson goes for that ankle pick. Lindsay goes right to her bum, gets a takedown, and now she's getting back points. 10 seconds left. If Lindsay can fight this off to make it to the third, 6 seconds. And there's not going to be a pin. She does get awarded 3 back points. The score is 15-1. All she has to do is score 1 point on Lindsay, and it's a technical fall. Lindsay doing a good job holding her off when she was controlling on top. She's going to go for that ankle pick again. Starting the third period. Lindsay's down by 14 points. If the Jackson girl gets 1 point, it'll be a technical fall. She's been doing an ankle pick on Lindsay twice. Lindsay doing a good job blocking her. And that's going to be the match. Technical fall. But Lindsay showing some real good aggression on top. That Jackson girl didn't look like she's wrestled very many girls as tough as Lindsay. That's a good showing from Lindsay on top. She could really produce some good work on that pinning combination and not let up at all. She could be easily able to turn that Jackson girl on her back. Very good match there from Lindsay. Ended up being a technical fall, but The score doesn't always show what kind of a good match it is. So there's going to be a quick break here as a girl from Laramie in Natrona County break. Just want to thank Jack's Drive-In for sponsoring today's event here in Jackson for a mock regional amongst the girls, the Lady Braves. So we'll take a quick break as we get set up looking for Caitlin Schwab and Victoria Fry coming up, and then Hallie Robertson against Keston Johnson coming up. A couple matches against our own girls, but looking good. Okay, back here broadcasting. Didn't really take a break. We just So as mentioned before, we have Brooke Schwab versus Tori Fry. We're going to see, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of matches with our own girls because there's 30 girls here and we brought 18 of them. So Tori throws a head and arm, Brooke in a head and arm right to her back. Brooke's trying to, not Brooke. Sorry, Caitlin. Schwab. They're sisters. Brooke wouldn't like me calling Caitlin Brooke, though. So gets an escape. Talking with Tori earlier. Just trying to work on some shots. Caitlin locks up a head and arm. Doesn't quite get it. Throws it down. Tori gets 2 points. Working for a crossbody. Trying to pull that barbed wire. Throws Caitlin to her back. Caitlin throws her arms through, able to roll over. Tori's going to let her up. So the score, 14 seconds left, 2-6. Tori leading. Caitlin doing a nice job sucking her under. Tori tries to grab a leg, goes for a double leg. Caitlin's trying to sprawl. Caitlin trying to work around. Tori doing a nice job at the end of the period. So this end of the period is going to finish at 2-6. Tori leading. And Tori's going to pick bottom, her choice. Caitlin's going to be on top. This will be the first time Caitlin is, second time Caitlin's on top. Caitlin goes for a crossface, trying to lock up that barbed wire. She's trying to move to the side. Tori reaches over for the head and just sucks Caitlin completely over her body, right into a reverse head and arm is what I'm going to call it, right to her back, and ends with the pin in the second period. Minute 35 left in the second period. Tori doing a nice job getting the reversal and throwing her over her body. This is their first both year. Tori does a lot of gymnastics, one of the most flexible humans I've ever seen as she wrestles. She's been putting some crazy moves, and she's able to fight a lot of them off. Caitlin, first year wrestling, she came out a couple weeks after the season started. So she's doing a good job getting experience. So right now we have Holly Robertson against Keston Johnson, both from Star Valley as well. They're usually in different weight brackets, but as I mentioned earlier, they have to combine a few weight classes today just to get the girls some matches. The whole goal today is just to get out there and try to do what they can. Trying to figure out why they're going 1 minute matches. Shane, will you go ask the table why they're going 1 minute instead of 2, 2, and 2 when the ref's done? I'm just trying to figure out why they're doing one minute first round matches. These aren't considered wrestlebacks. There it is. Never mind. Well, they're fixing it. The last one was a 1 minute round. I don't know what they were doing. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties with the clock. They had the timing set wrong. They were counting these as wrestleback rounds, but they're not. It's a round robin, so they should all be 2, 2, and 2. So we have Robertson and Johnson wrestling, both at usually a different weight class. They combined them today so they could make girl. I just visited with Keston a little bit earlier. She's not feeling very well today. Says she's just feeling a little weak, and and so she's like, next week is when I need to feel good. So she's just going to go out there and wrestle her hardest. Both Star Valley girls wrestling each other, see each other in practice every day. They wrestle every day in practice together. Both have really good records. Like I said, they usually wrestle different weight classes, but they had to combine them today. Both working in for head control and hand control. Holly looking to get that shot. Keston not willing to shoot or block. She's not feeling well. She's probably just trying to block the body. So like I said, it's really hard when you wrestle a girl every day in practice. You kind of know each other's moves, and then you go out here for a live event where you're not mock trialing anything. You're not working on any moves, and it's just you and your opponent. 1 minute gone in the first, still 0-0. Both looking for hand control. Keston's trying to come around. Hallie does a little trip kick, and Keston goes to the ground. No points awarded yet, as Keston was able to face Hallie. She's got to get behind those hips to have true control unless she rolls her over on her back. So no points were awarded yet. Keston doing a good job staying facing parallel. As soon as her hips cross, there it is. 2 points awarded to Hallie Robertson. Now Keston's gone looking for that reversal for a single leg. Does a good job getting it under. She's trying to come up with it. Hallie's trying to get her hips back. 10 seconds left in the first. Trying to get some points. Hallie unwilling to give up the points. 3 seconds left. And ref can't award one because there was no loss of total control. So the first period ends 2-0. Robertson up by 2. Robertson gets the choice. Hasn't made the official choice yet. She's still thinking. And she chooses bottom. So Keston's going to go on top into the second period. Keston is down by 2. It's hard announcing these when you're wrestling your own. Hallie does a nice sit out, gets a quick reversal on Keston. That's not normal. Like I said, Keston said she hasn't been feeling well. No excuses, but just giving you when I'm talking to the girls. So Robertson up by 4 now, scores 4-0. Minute 45 left in the second. Having a mock regionals today up in Jackson. 5 teams came, only 30 girls. We have 18 of the girls of that, so more than half of our own girls. That's why you're seeing a lot of our own wrestlers wrestling each other. Hallie goes out, pries out that wrist, tries to put her on her back. Keston pops up and is able to fight it off. The boys are also here today with their real regionals, trying to get a seating bracket ready for state next week. They'll be tuning in later on SBI, broadcasting some of the medaling rounds. But I'm broadcasting for the girls-only wrestling right now. So both Robertson and Johnson working, trying to find a pinning combination, getting her break down. Johnson doing a good job underneath, trying to break those hands off. Hallie pops up. Keston tries to sit up, and Hallie catches her into a barbed wire and exposes her back, and the ref's counting now. 35 seconds remaining in the second period. Keston kind of rolls over on her back. I think she's going to pin herself. She's not feeling real great. Good job on Hallie there, though, locking that barbed wire up really tight so that Keston isn't able to move. As a former wrestler, I understand how that is not to feel really well, but you still want to go out there and do your best. So Robertson with the win on that one against Keston. Good job wrestling each other. It's always hard. So right now we have Meisner going against a Kelly Walsh girl, Harbrook, at 110 pounds. This young girl right here could really use a win today. As far as I know, she's gone without any victories this year, and it's so hard for any athlete to go day after day after day and continue pushing forward and stepping out on this mat. Wrestling is a sport in its own, if you've ever participated or just watched it. And I'm very proud of these girls that step out here every day, and any boy, even whoever comes out on the mat, going to practice each day and never seeing success on a mat as far as a win. But they have all grown quite a bit. And as we start off, we have Meisner against Hallbrook from Kelly Walsh. Kelly Walsh gets a underhook on Meisner. She goes to Abby, tries to throw a head and arm, misses it, gets taken down, but she's got in good position with the single leg. Ref awarded that pretty early on, probably before Meisner put her arm up in that half. But down 2, minute 40 left. Abby doing a nice job trying to control those wrists underneath, not allowing them to go on. Goes to try to hit a stand-up, goes in for that single leg, faces her. All she needs to do is pop her head out, and she can put on a half. Put a half! She gets a reversal. Oh, nope, she doesn't quite get it. She lets go of the girl before she gets a reversal. Sorry, broadcasting, but I also want to support the girls. Goes ahead and gets a escape. This is a good match for her so far. First time. She gets a nice duck under to a fireman's to a single leg. She just needs to pop it up. She's still got the leg, and she loses it. And the Kelly Walsh girl goes ahead and gets the official takedown. But that was a really good shot from Meisner under there. She just needs to finish it. It was a beautiful textbook shot, but ends up losing it. It's down 4-1, 50 seconds remaining in the first period. Trying to fight those wrists off. Has a nice posture there, trying to go out the back door. Kelly Walsh breaks her down. Puts a crossface on, trying to get the control of that left side wrist. Puts a near side half on. Trying to break her down, stretch her out. 26 seconds remaining. Oh, she gets turned over in a half, and she's laying there too long. Ref is going to call a pin. 14 seconds remaining. Score was 7-1 up until that point. Wasn't able to fight off that half and is rolled over for a pin. Saw some good things from Meisner, though. She had a really good shot under there. Maybe it even surprised her that she was so deep and didn't quite know how to finish it. But like I said, a lot of courage on her part, stepping out every time, putting it all out there. I know that she'd been working hard this week to try to make weight. She didn't quite make weight today, but they combined the weight classes anyway, so might be a little weak from trying to do that. It was such a good match. Okay, coming up, we have Angel from Star Valley wrestling a girl from Natrona County, Bauer. This will be her Angel's first appearance today at this mock regional in Jackson. Kind of run it as a round robin, so just trying to get a couple more wins and losses before state next week in Casper. So Angel goes out there with the whistle, going for head control on the right-hand side, tries to snap, goes for an ankle pick, kind of misses it, flattens herself down, gets taken down 2 points, kind of her own mistake there. Doing a good job fighting the hands on Kelly. Natrona County going to get a technical violation on top for locked hands. So that's going to be a score of 1-2. Angel going to be on the bottom. Kind of took herself down there when she went for her shot and just kind of had, I call it dividing your power, where she left her arm up top. Does a good job sitting up, and she's out in just 3 seconds. Now she's could turn it into 2 because they didn't have to actually award an escape. So he is going to give 2 points reversal for Angel. She goes down for a hard takedown to the mat. Natrona County does a nice sit out. Oh, Angel's going to put herself in a bad position again and get herself reversal. Tries to do a near side tilt, but didn't have the leg locked in. And Natrona County able to capitalize on that. Now Natrona County going for a far side cross face barbed wire. Loses it. Angel doing a nice job fighting it off. Angel's building her base, trying to work up the hand control on the front hand side. I know it's hard to see on the camera because it's facing away, but she's doing a nice job blocking those arms and hands underneath, working wrist controls underneath, blocking a half from coming on. Trying to stretch out. She does a nice sit. Bellies her down. Natrona County able to capitalize that. Throws in a hard near side half. And has an ankle. It's going to pose her. 37 seconds left. And the ref pins her. Don't want to complain too much, but he's calling some pretty quick pins on there when the shoulder's not to the mat. You might not be able to see that on the computer, but it's pretty close. Probably would end up with the same way, but maybe calling him a little quick. So Angel, for her first appearance today, goes with a loss against a girl from Natrona County. She'll be hopefully wrestling again today and can fight back from that. Coming up, we have Val Foreman wrestling for the Lady Braves against Bruhava from Natrona County. Val is still undefeated this year. Hopefully can go through a whole year with that attitude and having that next week at state. Hopefully it'll end up with undefeated and be state champion. Val Foreman wrestling a girl from Natrona County at 130 weight class. Doing a good job blocking. Does a really good double leg. Sat on her knees for a little bit. Goes right to her bum. Crawls up the body. Goes for a wrist control. Puts a cross face to the left, trying to go under. Goes She's got control of that near side ankle. Probably going to let her up so she can have another takedown, and that's what she does. Working on trying to blow her lungs out. Gets a really nice shot. Picks her straight up, right to her back. Beautiful double leg from Val Foreman. Goes in again. Tries to put barbed wire on. Maybe a cradle. Walks it to her head. About to lock it up. Gets it locked up. Tilts her back. Doesn't quite have it locked up. But there gets 3 count. That's only going to be worth 2 points. Goes right to another near side. So not 2 points awarded yet. Same pinning combination. Vel doing a nice job getting it and gets a pin with 1:03 left in the first. Like I said, Vel is undefeated this year. Went out just to get a couple takedowns. Very good athlete. Very respectful of her opponent there. Not pinning her right off the bat. So coming up, we have Kara Andrews from Star Valley Wrestling Mares from Natrona County. This will be Kara's first match of the day. And following Kara's match, we'll have Kuntz up for her first match of the day. So Kara Andrews coming out to wrestle Jay Mares from Natrona County. Her first match of the day. They're doing a round robin tournament today and combining a bunch of weight classes. So starts off, Kara is pumped and ready to go. Looking for hand control, head control. Bouncing up and down. Pops that head, looking to snap it. Kind of stand straighten up, but she's doing a nice job circling. Needs to change levels and go under that body. Kara's got a really nice fireman's if she'll hit it. Don't know if she's just trying to control for a duck under and then do a fireman's. What she's got going on. She's got a really nice overhook. Yep, there goes that fireman's. Kind of misses it, kind of running the wrong way. Still has it locked up, no awards given. She crawls up to the half so she doesn't lose it. Goes to try to double off. Still has good control. No points awarded. Good action there from the ladies. That's what Kara was. She's going to try to set it up again. She goes to hit it. She's dumping it. Doesn't quite get it yet. She needs to curl up the body and get the round. She needs to block. She's got the hand, but she needs to go back to that leg and block so she doesn't give up 2. Goes ahead and does a big stretch and gets out from under the girl. A little dangerous move there, but ends up getting the takedown for 2. Trying to do some control work there on the backside. Does a tip. Grabs that leg, tries to flip it over. Has a nice control of the head. Trying to get the turn. No points awarded for Kara. She is up 2-0. 30 seconds left in the first period. Doing a nice job. Goes up for that barbed wire. Just needs to pop the hips over. Does pop the hips over. Getting the count. Girl from Natrona County's got a nice bridge, but Kara's just putting some good pressure on her. She just needs to suck it down. She's got 14 seconds. Quite a lot of time. She goes ahead and tries to put some pressure on it. Goes to the mat. And ref calls the pin with 7 seconds left in the first period. Kara goes down with a nice move there, kind of a scary one, but was able to control on top. So now we have Coots coming up against Zellerman from Laramie, but you just witnessed Kara with her first win of the day. Following Kuntz, we'll have Nellie Mays wrestling Smith from Rock Springs. Like I said, they combined the 190 class and the heavyweight class. And the girl from Rock Springs has been quite successful this year, as I've seen her wrestle several times. But right now we have Kuntz up from Star Valley for the Lady Braves, wrestling against Zellerman from Laramie. Shaylee's been having a really good year. She shoots in for a double leg, misses it, comes up to a tight waist. She really likes the head and arm, so I'm really proud of her for shooting that double leg right off the whistle. she's been working on trying to get her toolbox a little bigger with more than just a head and arm. Up until this point, she's been living or dying by the head and arm. It's worked pretty successful for her, but I really like that she's shooting some shots too. So she goes under, tries another shot, goes ahead and has some really good hand control, gets a takedown as she goes up for a tight waist, has that barbed wire locked up nice, loses it, goes back for a breakdown, does a tight waist chop, then goes right into a half, stretching her forward, just needs to pull it forward with her knee blocking, snap back, nope, still got the half, she's walking around the side, trying not to go for that. She's got a tight waist to a half, and she's trying to stuff the head. Gets it to turn, needs to suck her back on the mat, though. Ref still calling. Still counting from the side and pins her.
Hell yeah.
They didn't used to let you get pinned if you were outside the line.
Really? I was always if they have the same hole,
Right.
they'll allow it, but as soon as anything wiggles, they put it back to the same.
Right. So Shaylee Coons pulls up a win. Coming up, we have Nellie Mays against Smith from Rock Springs. Smith wrestling up today so that she can have a couple matches against our girl Cashley Hepworth and Nellie Mays. They've wrestled once before when we wrestled Rock Springs in Lovell. So we'll just see how this match goes. This is Nellie Mays from Star Valley Lady Braves against Smith from Rock Springs. Rock Springs girl pinned Cashley Hepworth earlier. She always tries to go for this underhook to snap. Snaps Nellie down, gets the takedown for two. Nellie's trying to build her base, block with her elbows. Goes ahead and pulls out that wrist, going to push it right overhead, right to a half, rolls Nellie over on her back. Nellie's doing a good job trying to scale it belly down and trying to belly down. Facing her, belly's down. Rock Springs puts a hard half on, sucking it up. Nellie's still doing a good job trying to fight. She bridges, but wasn't able to get out of it very quick. So 32 seconds into the first period, Nellie gets pinned. She did a nice job bridging right there to the edge. The Rock Spring girl has had really good wrestling this year, and Nellie's looking pretty disappointed as she watches off the mat, pretty frustrated against that girl from Rock Springs. I think Cashley and Nellie will have another match together, one of our other wrestlers going together again. Coming up, we have, so you got to update my system. So we have Merritt wrestling Nathan from Kelly Walsh. Merritt winning her first match today. This is her second match. So here we have Merritt from Star Valley and Nathan from Kelly Walsh. Second match of the day for Merritt. I believe. Might be getting that wrong, but I think so. Working for head control. She's got hand control on the left-hand side, working for arm control on the right-hand side. Sucks her down under with the head snap. Nothing comes from it. Both working for position on with that head tie. With the head tie. Does a really nice grab to a knee pick, but ankle pick, throws her right to her back, goes in and laces the arm in what I would call the barbed wire, but she lets it go and she slids that half in there. It's got a nice arm underneath the backhand. She pulls off a win. 45 seconds for Kay Merritt there with a pin. Nice duck under, throws that move on, and then throws her right to her back. Good job, Merritt, for Star Valley with that win. Next up, we have Brooke Schwab wrestling Loggery from Natrona County. Like to thank Jack's Drive-In in Etna for sponsoring today's broadcast this year for the Lady Braves in Jackson. This is their mock regionals. Next week they'll be at state. So whistle blows. Brooke goes in for a head tie. She did lose her earlier match, had a couple good moves, does a quick duck under, tries to throw the girl down. That's kind of what's happened last time. She's just not finishing her moves. And since she's not pushing through those moves and finishing them, she usually gets taken down. She does the first aggression move to to make the shot, but then she just doesn't finish them. So Brooks down by 1 point as she got taken down, but then escapes quickly. Has another good duck under, doesn't quite finish it. Has an overhook and an underhook. Sucks her down, just suck her straight. She's going to try to bounce her back down to the mat. Trying to just keep jacking her down to the mat until she goes down. She could go off to a cradle. She goes, she does that. She went to her knees, and then she drives straight over her. So, like I mentioned earlier, Brooks got a good setup. She just doesn't quite finish it. So, kind of frustrating when she does all the work and then just messes up just a little bit. So, Brooke, right off the whistle, tries to sit out, doesn't quite clear the feet, goes back to referee position, doing a good job posting so that blocking gets her hip broken down. Natrona girl trying to break her down with a tight waist. Brooke tries to face her, but she has her head down. She's going to get put into a half. She needs to peel that half off. Her head's still down. She's coming up to her base. There she goes. She finally peels it off. She just needs to stand up. The girl doesn't really have any control on Brooke. She just needs to stand up. Brooke tries to reach back, and that's a dangerous position. The whole crowd yelled no. We all saw the whole same thing happening. It's a bad position to reach back to the head when you're in that position. So she breaks her down, goes cross face to the arm. Brooke, 12 seconds left in the first. Down by 5 points, scores 6-1. Natrona County girl leading against Brooke Schwab. Comes out front, pulls Brooke down. Round ends. The first round will end 6-1. Brooke Schwab down. Natrona defers to Brooke. Brooke chooses both up. She set up two really nice shots, but she's not willing to finish the shot and get the points for the takedown. She's got a really tight tie on the right-hand side. She goes up for a duck under, gets behind her. She needs to let go of that head, tries to pull her down. She's going to take herself down again. She needs to let go of that head, get behind her, and take her down from the back. But she takes herself down, gets another 2 points given away on her, and we're down on bottom again. That's the third time today Brooks had the aggression, and she just takes herself down right at the end. She's so close on finishing those moves, and when that clicks, she's going to be a tough girl to face. She is a freshman this year. She gets an escape. She goes right back in the tie, gets a duck under. She's dividing her powers and gets thrown right to her back in a cow catcher from Natrona County. So Brooks trying to fight off her back. I know it's hard to see with the ref in the way. Getting back points put on her. The Kelly Walsh girl doesn't really have a move, just laying on top of her. Brooks gives up and gets the pin. 58 seconds left in the second, down 2-10, and gets pinned in the second period. So Brooke Schwab takes a fall in the second period. Like I said, she had many, many good shots. She just divided her power, and she was just straight up like a 2x4, and they just pushed against her, and she ends up going right to her back. That's just inexperience with finishing those moves. So coming up, we have Erickson from Star Valley against Ledford from Laramie. Erickson in her first match came out, had a really good, strong first start, but ended up getting a fall. Fell in that match, gotten pinned by her opponent. So this one's redemption match for her coming out here. Don't know quite what they're waiting on. So we do have Erickson from Star Valley wrestling against Ledford, but they might just be taking a few-minute break to get the time frame in. So we'll keep it right here, but we might take a few minutes. I'll go check what's going on. Sorry there. I just realized I hadn't been broadcasting the volume. That's my apologies there. Having a technical violation with the computer. The computer just shut off for the timer, but the score is 2-2. Yeah, the computer just shut down. The power cord shut off and lost power. So we're just trying to wait to get it log back on. I do apologize. Been some aggression there. We had a really good double leg shot from Erickson earlier. Took her down in the first period. Got up 2-1, then had a technical violation. Now we're just waiting for the computer to reboot and get logged back on, and we should be going in no time. So once again, we're being sponsored by Jack's Drive-In today in Etna and SVI Broadcasting. We want to thank them for broadcasting this for us as well. Erickson is wrestling against Ledford. I believe the score is tied at 2-2. It's going to be 1 minute and 11 seconds left in the second period. After a match, she started crying, and then she went over there, and then she disappeared.
I haven't seen her.
My daughter. After a match, she went over. Yeah, she was pretty sad. She's wrestled this girl before. That girl's a stud. She's undefeated for 2 years. Okay, back in. Minute 10 left in the match. Scores 2-2. Does a nice sit-up. Erickson trying to take her back down to the mat. Runs off the mat. Is going to give a stalling call because she's not able to take her back to the mat. That is a rule that if you can't take them back to the mat, they'll get a stalling call on you as it runs around. Erickson might just want to cut her and take her back down. She's got a great takedown. So, minute left. Stands right back up. If she doesn't return her to the mat, she'll get another stalling call, which gives points away. She needs to trip her forward or go somewhere, or just let her go so she doesn't get a stall call. Just cut her. She needs to cut her and let her go. Well, ref didn't call a stall call, but she takes her back to the mat finally. Tries to put in a leg. She got way high on her. Erickson doesn't quite know what to do. Gets a reversal put on her. So Laramie with the reversal puts the score up 4-2. 25 seconds remaining in the second period. Erickson's working to try to get that arm back. Laramie puts an arm bar on her. You can kind of hear the commotion from the crowd probably. A lot of excitement going on out here. Erickson doing a nice job not being able to turn her. She keeps rotating her body. Builds up to her base. 5 seconds left. She's down by 2-4. Still another period left. And time's out. So the second period ends with a reversal from Laramie going up 2-4. It is Laramie's choice. She's going to pick. Yeah, Erickson's going to cut her. She hasn't had a very good success bringing her back to the mat. So hopefully Erickson knows what to do. Push her and just let her start up. She goes ahead and tacks her. She's going to lock her hands. Ref misses it. Almost gives it. She just needs to let her go and take her down. We've been in this position before. She just needs to cut her and let her and reset. It's against everything. Yep, so going to get the word. This is actually better for Erickson in the long run. The score is 5-2 because now she can get her shot. Didn't quite know how to take her back to the mat. Now she's a little more comfortable from this position. She can do a head and arm. She can get a shot, and that can go into something else. She's down by 3 with 1 minute and 40.
Start the clock. Start your clock.
She tries to get a shot. She's got a nice tight head and arm. She just needs to sag her hip and throw it. She just needs to throw it, not let it go. She's got it locked up. She needs to hip her hard. She throws it, gets rolled through, and gets taken down. That's exactly how to counter that shot. So Erickson gets thrown in her own move right to her back, but she's able to scramble really quick off her back right down to her base. Minute 15 left. She's down by 5. trying to work up to her base. She does build up to her base. Now she needs to do a quick sit-up move and get out or get a reversal. When she's been on top, she hasn't known quite what to do. She's reaching back for the leg. That's not a good position for her to be. Laramie faces her. Callie Erickson, stands up, facing her. She just needs to break those wrists. She's trying to fight the wrist. Locked hands. Ref missed it. Erickson trying to work for her base again. Erickson's starting to build to her base. Doing a nice job, but she puts in a tight power half on the left-hand side. Erickson stands up to her base to a tripod. Puts a full Nelson on. That's going to be a technical violation. 23 seconds left. That's a point for Erickson, so the scores are going to be 3-7. She's down by 4. Erickson still down. Third period, 23 seconds. She's down by 4. Been able to build a base a couple times. She tripods up. Goes ahead and stands up. She's trying to go, and she faces her. He is going to reward 1. So now we're both up. 13 seconds left. She's going to need to throw her to her back. So they're both up. Down by 3. Kylie's going to have to throw her. I don't know if she understands the point. She's going to have to put a head and arm right to her back. She's got a nice overhook. 5 seconds left. She's not going to be able to handle it. She does shoot for a double leg. Ends up losing by 3. Final score 7-4. She's our senior. She had a really good showing last week in our dual tournament in Star Valley. But Erickson does lose this match by 3 points. And now we've got a Star Valley versus Star Valley. We got Lindsay Lawson versus Victoria Fry, both from Star Valley Lady Braves. Should be a good match. This will be Lindsay's second match of the day, Tori's third match of the day. This is the second time that she's wrestled our own opponent. She wrestled Caitlin Schwab earlier, and now she's wrestling Lindsay Lawson. So once again, a little different weight classes, but they've combined them to get them to have more matches. So whistle blows. We're going 1 minute first round. Tori tapping the mat, Lindsay tapping the head, trying to find their position. Both of them first-year wrestlers. Tries for an ankle pick, doesn't quite get it. Tori fights it off. Does a nice ankle pick to a knee, right to her back. Gets a 2-point back. Tori bellies down.
Fish your wrist out. Get her wrist. Inside. Take the wrist. Keep her leg.
Oh. Yeah, but you just go out and do it. Are you going to, though? You should. Millie, you should. Okay, wait till this match is over and I'll talk to you.
Okay, time's up for the first round match. Got a takedown, so the score should be 2-1. They're going to have to fix the scoreboard. Right now it's not quite right. Okay, so going into the second period, score should be 2-0. Tori's on top. Lindsay gets a escape, goes for that single leg pick again, misses it. Both tight in hand control, gets another takedown. You're missing the first takedown from the first round, too. There it is.
Reach under and get a wrist, girl. Make it happen.
Lindsay's looking for trying to get a pinning combination put on. Tori's doing a nice job blocking the arms.
Step her to her shoulders.
putting pressure on the head. Tori trying not to expose her back. Lindsay does get her back exposed. Tori kind of rolled over. Sometimes it's hard to wrestle your friends. We always say there's no friends on the mat, but it's very hard for these girls when most of their matches today are going to be against themselves. So Lawson pulls off the win against Tori for the pin. So coming up, we have another Star Valley versus Star Valley. We have Angel versus Smith. Different weight class, but they, like I said, they combined it. And you're going to get sick of me saying that. You can see all of our girls after the mats go. So I'm going to take just a quick break while they set up this one. Okay, so we start off this match against Angel versus Smith. Coming up, we do have All Red, and she'll be wrestling a girl from Natrona County. Still good fun to watch these girls. They have to understand that this might be the situation at state as well, as they're trying to fill brackets, that you might have to wrestle your own teammate when you're at state. So Paisley goes in for a single leg dump, gets the 2-point takedown, goes right into that armbar against against Angel. Starts walking around. Angel's trying to not expose her back, but Paisley doing a nice job threading it. Gets it turned over. Angel's getting back points on her. Smith looking at the ref. Tries to roll through. Angel's trying to roll through. If she can get her arm through. Doesn't quite get it. Gets pinned with 1:10 left in the first period. It's really nice to see our girls. It's never easy wrestling your own teammate that you practice with every day in practice. So I'm just really proud of these girls going out there and still doing their best. I think sometimes it's a mental block when you go out there and try to wrestle. So coming up, we do have Malia Allred versus Bruhava from Natrona County. Okay, Malia goes off, goes to her head control right off the whistle. Gets a nice duck under to a single leg. Hikes it up really high, loses a single leg, but has a head and arm, throws it right to the mat. Now she just got to settle in and get it tight. Ref counted the 5. Malia needs to walk to the head and just suck it up. She needs to actually scoop that left arm so it gets tighter and not expose her back so much. She needs to just face the opponent. But she's doing a nice job keeping off the mat, and she gets a pin in the first 30 seconds of the mat. Went in for a single leg, lost the single leg, adjusts right to a head and arm, and hits the mat right to the back with a pin. So coming up, we have Andrews versus Walker, both from Star Valley again. Okay, so here we start this match against Kara Andrews versus Sam Walker, both from Star Valley. Once again, we're facing a match where we're facing each other. Does a nice duck under. Sam loses the point. Kara Andrews able to take her down. No points awarded. A little batch there, and there they are. Kara with a 2-point takedown. Sam rolling. Trying to do a roll. Granby gets a reversal for 2 on Andrews. Andrews really fast off the bottom if we see a switch come from her. Andrews working to stand up. Does get the escape. So score is 2-3. Andrews up by 1. 59 seconds left in the first period. Sam tries to throw a head and arm. Does get Kara thrown in that head and arm. It's pretty tight. Depends how tight it is. If it blocks the airway, Kara might pin herself. I don't know. Sometimes Kara's pretty good on the bottom. She's trying to do a nice job. Sam's got it locked up tight. 30 seconds remaining in the first period. Just got Kara thrown in the head and arm. Kara's trying to follow the body like she should so she doesn't expose that shoulder. But the longer it sits, the tighter Sam's putting it. And does end in a fall over Kara Andrews. So with 16 seconds left in the first round, Kara Andrews falls. Samantha with the pin. Right now we've got Shaylee Kuntz coming up against Wilt, and then possibly a match against Mays and Hepworth if they wrestle with each other. That was just for just 1 minute, my fault.
Are you gonna do in there?
I'm not for the boys.
No, but they said they're gonna move the girls and the boys in here for the finals.
That's not what we were told. Okay, so Shaylee gets a takedown, goes right to her back, got a nice half on the far side. Sorry, I had somebody come up and start talking to me and missed the first part of the little match. So, no excuses for me either. So she's got a nice pinning combination. If she could get her leg free. And she gets the pin. 40 seconds into the first round, Shaylee Kuntz throws a nice move, gets the takedown, and gets the pin. So it says that we're supposed to have Nellie Mays and Cashley Hepworth, but I do not know if Nellie is going to walk out on the mat. So we have Nellie Mays against Cashley Hepworth. Nellie hurt her knee a little bit in that first round. Coach is doing a good job trying to inspire her to come out on the mat. Trying to not tell anybody, it is my daughter.
Yeah, she tried to get out of it 3 times. I said, I'm not going to tell you what to do because I don't want to put stress on her. She already knows what I want, but thing is, they wrestle each other all day, every day in practice.
So looks like we are gonna have a match against Nellie and Cashley. They wrestle every day in practice together. Just have fun. Just have fun and work hard. Have fun and work hard. So as they're trying to set up the head table. Be aggressive. She's not very, only to me. So Nellie and Cashley getting ready to start for their both second matches. They wrestle every day in practice together. Nellie didn't want to step on the mat today, but her coaches encouraged her to get out there. So Cashley's ready to wrestle. Nellie wasn't quite ready. We'll see how this turns out. Both fighting for hand control. As I mentioned earlier, most of these girls, they wrestle each other all day long, every day in practice. Cashley with a good step down to Nellie. Gets her takedown for 2. working to pull that ankle. Nelly with a nice stand. Cashley breaks her down, tries to pry out those wrists. Cashley's looking for, it's hard to tell from my angle what she's looking for on top. Nelly doing a good job trying to block the ankles. Cashley goes for a near side bar, blocking her arm. Got her, the other arm stuck under. Cashley walks it around. Nelly goes through, tries to roll it. Ref hasn't counting backs. Nelly's trying to face through, but Cashley goes around for a half on this side. Nothing. Nelly's trying to work to her belly. Cashley's got a nice block. Nelly goes. Ref stopped the match. An illegal hold. Didn't see what the illegal hold was, but it must have been a full Nelson somehow slipped in there. So Nelly gets to reset on the bottom. Cashley on top, leading the match 5-1. 47 seconds. Cashley goes to break her down. Nelly with both elbows underneath her body, trying to work for a base. Cashley reaches out, grabs the wrist. Cashley working on top, trying to work in that half. Nelly trying to keep her elbows in so she doesn't get put in the half or the bar. Cashley goes ahead and threads the bar on the left-hand side. 25 seconds in the first. Nelly's trying to belly down. Cashley goes around. Comes around. Cashley grabs the other hand. Nelly's trying to fight through. Trying to roll through. Cashley's doing a good job. Nelly's doing a good job trying to fight off the bottom. Does get not pinned at that one. 5 seconds left in the match. Gets a 3 count on the back, but Nelly, good job bellying down there. Cashley puts a half on, tries to run it over. Short time, no back points there. Have her choose top. Nelly got a little injured there with the arm bar. They're going to start injury time. So as she starts her injury time, it was just from the arm bar she put on. I do believe the coaches are going to stop the match, and we're going to have to take a little break as she tries to get her shoulders looked at. I'm going to take a short break because that's my daughter, and I want to go see what's wrong. Like I said, all these girls are friends, and it's hard to match it. I'm going to step away just for a second. I know I'm broadcasting, but that's my daughter. I'm going to go check out what's happening. You got Holly Robertson, Folsom Hallbrook. So I'll leave the live running, but I need to go check on my daughter. Came back real quick. Hallie gets a nice duck under to a shot. Gets the 2-point takedown. Trying to walk around the head with that barbed wire. Goes back to going to try to cradle it. Just an update, when Cashley put that arm bar twice on Nelly, must have tweaked your shoulder a little bit. The physical therapist looking at it. But Hallie's got a nice barbed wire on there, trying to suck it on the far side of the body to expose the back. Trying to suck her down. Goes ahead and threads that arm to the back, pulls that arm out, goes for across the body, and rolls her over with a quick pin. So Minute and 10 seconds, minute and 9 seconds into the first period. She throws the arm on the back, laces it on the left-hand side, rolls her over for a pin. Next up, we have Keston Johnson and Abby Meisner. Hope I'm saying the name right. Keston with a quick takedown. Looking for a crossface to a cradle. Locks the cradle up, rolls it back. Meisner's trying to break the hands and kick it off. Keston's trying to rock it down, and there she does. Quick pin from Keston Johnson there. 32 seconds against Meisner, Bow Star Valley. So we're going to have just a minute while there's one match in between our girls, and I'm going to go, so be dead silent for a few minutes while this match is happening. Okay, so here we go. We have Lindsay Lawson versus Ledford from Laramie. Going to be a 1-minute first round match. Lindsay working for that hand control and head control. So she's wrestling a Ledford from Laramie. Goes in for that leg pick that she likes to do sometimes, but she doesn't get it. Working in for a different control. Trying to set up a shot. Lindsay doing a good job blocking that arm. They've kind of both got the same head tie on. They both have the right hand on the head and the left hand fighting for their wrist control. Five seconds left in the first round. No points yet. Lindsay's trying to snap her down. Doesn't quite get it. This round will end still 0-0. We'll see where the flip comes. So it is going to be Lindsay's choice. She defers to Laramie. Laramie's going to take bottom. That's going to put Lindsay on top. No points as of yet. Still 0-0 going into the second period. This is going to be a 2-minute round this time. Lindsay goes for a snap down, tight waist chop. Breaks her down, but she pops right back up. Pulls over for a crossface butcher. Trying to dump with that near side ankle. Gets it. Gets her right to her back. Trying to suck up the tight. Able to roll through. She does get a 3 count, so that's going to be worth 2 points on the back. She now goes trying to break it down again. Stay behind. Lindsay needs to block behind. She stays out front too long. Able to grab her leg to a single leg. But she's able to turn her and get control. She just needs to get behind. Ref calls it out. So the score is 2-0 with those back points. 1:22 left in the second period. Lindsay's still on top in control. Does another tight waist chop. Breaks her down, switches to the other side. Tries to thread a half, leaves it. She's going over the shoulder. She needs to stay behind the elbows. She faces her Laramie opponent. Trying to reach those ankles. She needs to pick that ankle up and dump it so that she spreads her flat. There she goes. She reaches under. Does break her down. She just needs to spin behind. 51 seconds left in the second period. Throws her right to her back with a light barbed wire. Doesn't have it tight, but she's getting back points held on her. Loses control, slides into a bar, sort of. Now she goes to a half. Still getting back with points, and Laramie girl pauses. 28 seconds remaining in the second period, and Lindsay Lawson with the pin. I need to check what's going on right now. We'll see what's going on, and I'll give you a quick announcement. All right, folks, so that is the end of the tournament for the Lady Braves, and that's the last match for the day for them. Tune in later for the boys wrestling. I think somebody's going to broadcast that. Thanks for tuning in today. I'd like to thank Jack's Drive-In for sponsoring today's matches. And